Oh, we're back. Sunday the 23rd, a little after 11. I woke up shortly after 10 today, so slept in a bit more. Oh, my back's still really sore. I'll just get to work and hopefully it'll work itself out. Gonna pick up from yesterday. Get the motor pulled and the trans out of the Oldsmobile. A little bit of leakage down there, but we'll get it cleaned up as we go. So today, we get that torque converter off. Gotta find a way to block this thing from spinning. There's a couple of holes we can shove a punch or something through and wedge it up in there on the block and bust that puppy free. And then, see if we can do for a compression gauge. May have to go run down to Harbor Freight and snag one, or hold off till next weekend. But gotta get the frame. I'm gonna slide it back about a foot up against that wall a little bit more. Gives us a little bit more room up front, because I want to put that on the stand and set it right in between the frame horns there up front, so it kind of keeps it out of the way a little bit. But yeah, didn't realize last night when I locked my door and I closed it from the outside that, you know, I got a whole bunch of garbage up in front here that, well, I can't see garbage, but yeah, we gotta sneak our way through and stretch to unlock the door. Oh, that's difficult with a sore back. Alrighty, let's get her going. Alrighty, Mr. Ruger took a load of dirt from my backyard. My neighbor next door came over and yacked for a while. Ken's called a couple of times, I haven't called him back. So we haven't even touched the motor yet. But now, we're going to get to her. Actually, I may give Ken a buzz. Probably wants to see if I got that video uploaded yet. You'll all see that one later, well, before this one goes up, but it's pretty good. We had fun with his car. So, alrighty, you don't hear the music over there. You're not listening to that. You don't hear anything. So, we're going to get back to work. Alrighty, I know the lighting's bad. Backlight and dark subject, but torque converter's off. What's that say? Guessing this is auto trans. Somebody's gone to a junkyard to pick one of these up. Torque converter. Kevin was thinking it was a reband, a replacement, but yeah, flywheel. Yep, she's got teeth missing. Right back in here, I can see it. See how long these are, and then these are nice and short. So we'll be replacing the flywheel. Yep, it's been ground down there. Here's my problem. Why it was going zing. So I need a flywheel. So may as well just pull that one off then. While we're here, we got her up. And it was kind of a pain to get off. Those bolts were on there pretty good. Wound up taking a screwdriver. This one here, in fact, shoving it into the hole, getting it to wedge up against something solid on the block, and then put my wrench on because there wasn't enough room to get a ratchet in there, even on the bottom. Between the oil pan, I thought about pulling the oil pan, but not quite yet. And then whacking it with my rubber mallet just to break the torque. So we'll go ahead and bust those off, get this flywheel off, and then should be pretty close to throwing up on the motor stand. Probably do a new starter while I'm at it too. Cheap insurance, right? Doing everything else to this thing except a full rebuild, so let's replace the external stuff. I haven't decided if I'm going to do new pulleys or just replace or recondition the ones I got. But we'll see. Got a long way to go for this thing's back on the road. But this is a start. That's cool. I got my Oldsmobile 350 engine hanging in my garage. That's beautiful. Greasy old nasty Olds V8. I just like how wide these things are. With my hand, I can't spread the gap between the valve covers. So, alrighty, let's get that torque or that flywheel off. Well, I seem to remember last time I did a motor swap or a pulled a motor, it was raining and cold and miserable and nasty. It's not exactly cold out there, it's kind of warm and muggy today, but it is raining. Luckily, I'm in my garage. Let's get you all flipped back around here. There's my little, read a couple of comments, took a break, waited for the compressor to air up. Answered a couple of them. Need to get in there and answer some more. I've been getting real bad about answering comments here on my channel lately. Apparently YouTube is forcing me to use that new channel setup too, so I should probably go in there and try to set that up for all the new people that come by. And we're going to try something a little different. Here's a sound you haven't really heard out of my shop before. This thing's been sitting on the shelf. I think I got this from the guy that loaned me all his other air tools. Not real it's busted tip. This may be from Kevin, actually. I don't remember. Hey, Kevin, did you give me the Craftsman deal? The tip's busted on, so it doesn't hold the bit on, but... Yeah, that works a lot better. I was trying to beat those off and it wouldn't go. I sprayed it with some of that Croil too. Come on, come on. Get on there. She's got some rust on the lip. That's going to be fun to figure out. Something like that. There we go, we got her. Yeah, so here's a close-up. I got teeth missing from there. Well, not missing, but the edges are gone. To there, it's rusty, so it's been that way for a while. I got a couple of edges missing here. I got several missing down there. Yeah, this thing's been skipping teeth for a while and chattering, and so we got to find a new flywheel. I think it says 400 trans. Huh. Almost looks like maybe bent a little bit too. I don't know if I can really show it all. I'm seeing a low spot right here. Yeah. So she's junk. Throw that right in the scrap pile. Actually, we'll hang on to it. Count the teeth. It's probably 201. That's probably the tooth count right there. But, yeah, it's got some damage right in here from whatever. Well, I think she's ready to go up on the stand. Whew. Rain. Kind of good out there. I didn't get the caddy covered last night. I'm not going to cover it now because it's all wet. So she may just have to sit out uncovered for a few days. With the brand new tires. Alrighty. Let's find some bolts that I can use to mount this thing up. What did I do with all my transmission bolts? Probably these right here. They're not going to be long enough. Yeah, that's the right thread. Got 4 points. I got to get something that's a couple inches longer. I got some stuff that I bought. Let me go look into it and see what we can find here. Alrighty, I knew I had some around. I bought these when I did that Pontiac motor. Should be the same thread. They go right right in. Specifically bought these with the longer shank on them so they could fit through the little studs on that stand there. So right on. Hopefully that washer's big enough and they have to run a big old flat washer on those, but we'll take a look, we'll get things lined up, and then we'll bring you all back in. Well, I did it again. Just got to working, didn't even hit the record button. Whew, I'm tired. Muscling this thing around, that's a heavy motor. She's on the stand. In front of the frame. Push the frame back a little bit, put her back up on the jack stand so she's way up in the air. So now we can really get to work. Probably going to pull steering bits and check those out. Sway bar, I'm going to put a bigger sway bar on mine. Go ahead and pull the gearbox off just to get it out of the way and hang on to that, whatchamacallit, joint there. Probably going to need that, clean that up. Heater hose, that can go away. Start stripping her down a little bit. Yeah, fuel line running inside the frame rails there. I don't know how I'm going to handle that, but pull the brake stuff off because we're not reusing that. Kind of throw it in the back of the old beast here and get the scrap value up. Whew, it's muggy shoving that thing around, and of course I forgot that the feet on my stand are wider than, or don't fit comfortably inside the feet of that thing, so I had to extend the bar out. Of course the little cap is gone again, Kevin. I was looking at it earlier and it's got a tear in it, so I have to figure out something to put in that hole there. I don't even know where it went this time. I was looking for it for a little bit. A little bit of coolant leak there. I got to, oh, there's the cap. And she's got problems. We'll have to put that back in. Whew. But she's off. She's out. She's ready to be tweaked with. That speed beam in there. Yeah, I can't think of anything that I have to get done. I was going to pull the exhaust out of this thing tonight, but I don't know. I'll go get the trailer back to Kevin since it's raining now, and I want to go hit Harbor Freight for a compression gauge. Because I don't know where mine is. Probably go ahead and just do that, get that taken care of. Come back and we can start tearing into this beast a little bit. I'm not quite sure how far I'm going to go right off the bat. The manifold's going to come off, water pump's going to come off, got to get the pulleys and everything off. Probably just buy new pulleys and clean up the brackets real good. Need a new alternator. We got a list going here. We do. Water pump, intake, cam, headers, fuel injection, paint engine, 455 heads. Well, that just about covers it. But now we can start concentrating on the frame. I think that'll be next weekend's gig, or sometime during the week we'll start cleaning her up a little bit more again. Whew, she's out. Get those chains off and get it all straightened out. It's pouring down rain, so we're not going to get into this tonight. Oh well. But let's go ahead and end this here now. I think we've done enough for the day. We'll catch you all in the next exciting video. Bye-bye. Well, it took me a little break for a few hours. We're looking at almost 6 o'clock now. 5:45 or so. We're back. Got the trailer dropped off at Kevin's, my brother's, Kevin 92XJ. Went and got me a compression test kit. Nothing spectacular, but that should do the trick. It's got different fittings for different size motors and whatnot, so figured, yeah, that should be good. Hopefully kind of a universal deal. Got the motor sitting over there. We haven't quite decided what I want to start on. I'd like to start digging through the catalogs a little bit and start sourcing parts, getting a list together, figuring out cost-wise. And I had a comment from one of the videos, I think it was on the getting the ready to remove, and somebody asking, why aren't you putting a 455 in this thing? Well, I could, but I got the 350 and it's a good motor. I think. We'll check the compression, but I mean, she seems to run alright. I've never driven the car with the motor, but I mean, it nice, snappy, revs up good, so I think it's a good solid motor. So we're going to hang on to her. And I did mention that I was going to put the 455 heads on it. They will fit. You got to buy a intake manifold kind of set up for that, but by doing that, this little 350 is going to breathe real nice. She's going to be real snappy on the throttle and make some decent power. I'm not looking for a super high-end, top-of-the-heap drag car or anything like that, so I figure, yeah, if we just hot rod this little 350 holds and just kind of keep it simple. And you go to the shows and everybody's running 455s. I kind of want to do something a little bit different. So, not saying that if this motor were to ever go, or I came across a good deal on a 455, I wouldn't snag it. I do have a 455 Pontiac block sitting back in the shed. It's codes out as a high output from 71. And the VIN code was calling out, I think, GTO is what it was originally came in. But only difference is they don't have the right oil fill location. That's the Oldsmobile fill there. So we're going to stick with this and just let her run. But I still got my fancy clothes on. I got all cleaned up for the run down to Kevin. I got my, what I call my douchebag shoes on today. Yeah, my nice shiny white ones, my new ones. We'll get them dirtied up for another time from work. But not quite sure where we're going to start with this thing. I may just pull the exhaust off, try to get those busted off. And I was talking to Kevin about that, wherever I put it, my impact gun, my air-powered, that Craftsman. I think Dad gave that to me. Right there. I think that's where that came from. So, hey, she works. Made in Japan. Yeah, just a little busted on the end there, but she worked. She took that flywheel right off, so maybe we'll fire it up and we'll work on getting those exhaust manifolds off. And do a new pan. Probably do a new oil pump. Let's throw that on the list actually while we're standing here. Get up and over everything. That's one drawback, putting the frame this high is crawling all over it. Oil pan. Oil pump. So yeah, let me go get my dirty clothes back on and try not to push the frame off the jack stands. I do still want to get the exhaust off from underneath this thing. And get that cut out and thrown in the scrap pile and out of the way. Don't have to worry about it then. And then we'll do a little bit with that. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be back here in just a jiff. Well, we're making some progress. I got my hands dirty. Yeah. There's the manifolds. Only had one issue. This bolt here. The head snapped off. There's enough poking through. I'm hoping I might be able just to grind a couple of flats on it and get a wrench on it and spin it out. She was starting to turn and then the head snapped, so yeah, I got the alternator off. This pulley was already loose, so I pulled it off, removed the belts. I'm going to try to get the power steering pump off, and then we'll separate it from the bracket, reuse the bracket. Actually, I guess it is a two-piece, but we can pull the lower alternator and power steering pump bracket all as one. Upper alternator bracket, those all get fresh coat black paint. Fuel pump can probably come off because I'm hoping to run fuel injection on this. We could probably pull the engine mounts off, get those undone. Was pricing oil pans, yeah, 150 bucks, getting a decent one with some baffles and whatnot in there. Water pump, all the big bolts are off the water pump. So, just got the small ones holding around now. Probably do a timing gear set on this. Upgrade that or update that. I got one down here I got to pull out yet, but I think that's about the only. So that's loose. I think that's about the only bolt holding the power steering on right now. So, oh, this is bent. Could have been from me pulling the motor and bouncing around, but probably looking to replacing that piece. It's kind of crusty looking. This pulley's not bad. I don't know. You do one, may as well do the other. We'll see. But already made a little more progress. Sorry about the shut off earlier. I was a goofball walking down the street throwing off fireworks, so shut the camera off for that. But yeah, we're making good progress. Got the power steering and alternator brackets removed. That's a pretty big head. So I think we'll pop the water pump off next. Maybe work on this main pulley. See what we can do for that. Timing marks. Need to hang on to those, although it's just loose now, so I guess we can pop that off. That's plastic. Should hang on to that someplace where we won't lose it. And yeah, should start spraying this thing down. Get some of this heavier crud saturating. Need to get me a drain pan of some sort down here to catch it. I used to have one. I don't know what I did with it. Probably tossed it. But I'm starting to feel raindrops again, so the rains are coming back. But yeah, we'll start get this thing torn down to a point where we're happy with it. It gives us some free time to play with the frame then. And yeah, don't know if I'll get to the compression test today. We'll see. We'll see. I got the battery over there. Just run a couple of cables to her. Touch the starter over, we'll pull all the plugs out so there's no compression in any of the cylinders. That way we're not going to stress out the stand at all. Got to separate the power steering pump from the bracket there. And yeah, we'll get her. We'll get her. Break her down a little bit here, and let's look at her nice aftermarket oil pan. It's a lower profile, but it's got a bigger sump area. It's supposed to give you some more capacity. I like that idea. I don't want to run a deep sump on this thing, or deeper, because we are technically lowering the car, so I don't want to minimize the risk of dragging the oil pan and stuff. Shouldn't be an issue, but you never know. All it takes is one mistake and a big old hole can be punched in. Probably pull that whatchamacallit for the filter there. I have to try to get that filter off. So I get my wrenches on there if it'll spin at all. Actually, I tried doing it by hand the other night, but it wouldn't budge. Don't know if there's any oil in that gasket in there at all or what, but yeah, we got parts to buy. We got a chassis to build up. We got body work to do. Ooh, wheels and tires to buy, you name it. Cadillac to finish up. But yeah, red truck to fix, Jeep to finish. Holy, those are just going right in the scrap pile. I'm not going to try saving those at all. But yeah, we'll get a couple more pieces ripped off of this bad boy and I'll show you all the results. Alrighty, I think we are about ready to tear some more off this thing. I think. Actually, that one needs to be undone yet. So I missed one. My 9/16th out here. Nope, it's not 9/16. What was that size? Those are 5/8. That's way too big. That's the 9/16. It's probably a 1/2 inch. That's the 1/2 inch. You know what? I think we can just zip it off with this real quick. There we go. Let's see how we get this bad boy off. Need a knife. Actually, I guess I could take the water neck off. Yeah, 1/2 inch in, 1/2 inch. That's the wrong size extension. I remember tearing that Pontiac motor down and I pretty much used all manual methods. This is pretty nice. There's water pump and the thermostat. Doesn't look bad, but we'll probably replace it anyway. Cheap insurance. Thermostat looks pretty good, but they're new anyway. They're cheap. Now, with that done, I've also got all my intake manifold bolts undone. She's sliding back and forth. So. This motor smells a little burnt coffee. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh. We got crusties. Let's get y'all in there and take a look. Yeah, not exactly sure what's been going on here in this middle passage, but just got a lot of buildup. Windage tray is discolored, but I wonder if that's part of the intake manifold. Gasket and all that. I don't know if it is or not. No, it's got separate. No, it doesn't. Such a thin piece, I don't want to... Yeah, we're going to replace it anyway, so... I don't need to save it. There's our valley. We'll be cleaning that up real good. Probably hang on to that just in case. Grab the vacuum, get it in here and clean all that up. She's a little crusty. Got some deposits in there. Some sludge. Ooh, carbon. Hopefully that coolant there is just from tearing the motor down. Cam in there. We'll be hopefully replacing that with a aftermarket unit. There we go. That's about as far down as I'm going to tear this thing, other than valve covers, but I'm going to leave those on for now. Throw that windage tray back on, even just set the manifold up there just to keep this thing sealed up a little bit better for a while until I get all my good parts on her. Should probably pull this ground cable off, get it out of the way. Yeah, we're getting down there. We're getting down there. Still haven't got into pulling the exhaust off the car yet, but she's been torn down. Ain't gonna run anytime soon, that's for sure. Needs a good cleaning in here. So I think we're going to call that good for the night on this thing. Well, I got the one, okay. The 5-bolt valve covers, need to keep that in mind. Of course, if I do different heads, it'll change that, but Oldsmobile gold. But yeah, carburetor sitting over there, got that yanked off. Manifold and windage tray, water pump, exhaust manifolds. What else we got down here? We got the water pump pulley, engine mounts are off, distributor sitting over there. Not a good place for that. Up and out of the way. Alternator laying there. I think it's still good. It seemed to be charging the battery, so we'll just hang on to it and keep it as a backup if anything. Throw it up on the shelf along with the distributor. Let's pull some plugs out. Alrighty, I just had a brilliant moment. Been talking about this all day, wanting to put this thing on the stand and turn it over to check the compression, but hey goofball, you removed the flywheel. How the hell can you turn it over now? Crap. Oh well. I guess if we really wanted to, I could pull it off the stand and just set it on the ground and hook the flywheel back up, but the flywheel's kind of junk. Pulled the plugs out, but it's like, holy, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to jump the starter off the battery, and it dawns on me, that little Bendix has got to come out and got to touch something to make the motor go round and round. Oh well, I'm a goof. What can I say? Just making this up as I go. So, well, maybe next weekend or sometime down the road we'll pull it back off the stand. We'll just set it on the ground on some blocks of wood. Throw the flywheel back on it real quick. Maybe we'll see about just flipping it over so we got some good teeth, and maybe that'll be good enough to spin her up and get her compression check. Pulled the filter off. That was a pain. Nothing was on her good. Almost twisted it in half with the filter wrench. So soaked all the heavy oil down with some Croil, so it'll help break it down a little bit. And of course, I really need to go get a drip pan. Didn't even think to look when I was at Harbor Freight, so maybe we'll swing by tomorrow and see if they got one, just to throw under this thing to catch the drippings. I think we might just drain the oil out of her tonight since we got the filter off. I think I got the container back in the shed. I don't think I have one down here anymore. Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this right down here? That. Ooh. Even better, it's empty. Cool beans. Cool beans. Spiders have been hanging around it, but So let's get that busted off and let's get some Earl coming out of this thing. Of course, if I drain all the oil out, then I won't be turning her over with the starter, but yeah, we can always throw some oil back in if need be. That's a big mother of a plug. I don't think I have my wrench out here for that one. Let me go track that down. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Of course, I didn't bring the socket, the ratchet. I don't want to use the impact on this. Hold on, let me go get the socket, the ratchet.
Now we're ready.
7/8 is the size on this beast. Of course, now the phone rings. Be back in a jiff. Alrighty, that was Kevin. I was calling him about finding out how to jump that starter, but it doesn't matter now because I ain't got no flywheel hooked up. So back to the Pearl. Holy. Jumping. Jeez. Am I going the right way? Yeah, now we are. It's a problem I got, remembering which way to spin the damn bolts. I'm the dumbest person I know, but I'm smart enough to realize that. For getting it all in here. Probably gonna miss the thing altogether, but oh, almost right in the middle. A little bit of spillage, but that's okay. Yep, she's black. Smells like gasoline. The plugs are a little black, which I think black is rich, right? So that carb was out just a little bit. Oh well. Oh well. We'll look into a new oil pan. Maybe in the coming weeks we'll look into dropping this thing down and setting her on the ground and cranking her over for you guys. So we can level this thing a little bit more here. Now that she's almost done draining. Get a trash bag to put over this thing. I think I got one that's big enough. If not, I can run it to the store. Put my good clothes back on. Took the Cadillac out in the rain. But I'll have to clean up a little bit. I'm a little grungy. So we're going to end this here. I'm going to call it quits for the day. Didn't get to the exhaust, but I don't know. I may come back out here in a bit and cut and grind, or I may just leave it till next weekend. Start sitting down with some pen and paper and figure out a shopping list of parts for this motor. These plugs I got are pretty new, but I'll probably just put fresh ones in it. Throw those on the shelf for something later. We may need them when we start doing the junk car bit. I gotta look into pulling this harmonic balancer and a crank pulley. That's pressed on, so I don't know if I have a pulley for that, a puller for that, but exhaust manifolds, I think I'm just going to toss those in the back of the truck. Water pump, and neck I can probably hang on to. Water pump I can toss. It looks good, but we'll put a new one on. I usually have about 30-40 bucks. We'll spend some money and get some fresh parts on this thing. Hopefully internally it'll hold out for a while. I think it should. It wasn't blowing oil smoke and all that too bad. But like I say, we'll go ahead and call it quits for the night. Get this place cleaned up, wrapped up, and get a couple of still photos. And yeah, we'll hit her hard again next weekend. Kind of hard. Thinking of going up to Stanwood for the car show on Sunday. Kevin said he'd like to go if he's not working, so if I haven't got the caddy torn back apart again, I'll be driving it up. Following week, I got a 3-day work week. We're off the 4th of July. I'm taking the 5th of July off. And then Saturday, Sunday, so a nice 4-day weekend. Sunday is the return to Renton, which is the whole point of doing all this work at the Cadillac, to get that down there. So, you know, we'll have 3 days of work. And hopefully it's not raining. I got to get out here and do some polishing on this thing and get it really cleaned up good. But we're going to end this here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Been picking up quite a few subscribers here. We're almost up to 1,000 people. That's pretty damn impressive in my book. 1,000 people following me on my little goofball antics as I bomb around my garage in the neighborhood here. I remember when I hit 30 people and I was just totally floored. But yeah, it's 5 after 8 right now. Call it quits, clean up, go watch a movie or two tonight, do some editing, watch some YouTube, play with the cats, do some laundry. So really, I'm not going to stop working. I'm just going to be inside for the rest of the night. So, y'all have a good evening. We will catch y'all probably next weekend, or we'll probably do our Thursday vlog again, driving through work, into work. So, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.